Hi magical humans, happy Monday. Can you guys believe that it's Monday? Oh my goodness. Crazy. Today's a special day. Today is 11/11. Well, no, wait. No, it's the 11th live stream at 11/11. That's what it is. Hi Gabriella, good morning as always. The people who watch these live streams, the replays, are gonna be like, who the heck is this Gabriella girl? She's just always on first. Welcome, you guys, as you're coming on. Say hello. Say hello. If you're watching the replay, comment hashtag replay. If you're new here, comment hashtag newbie. So I know that you're new and I can put new faces to names. We're on day 11 of 365 of the MOJO challenge, where I'm helping you understand how to earn more money through joy. If you want the backstory to where this came from and why we're doing this, the first video is pinned to the top of my personal Facebook page. So if you want to go watch that and catch up with all the videos that we've done so far, you can watch the first video, and then all the replays are actually posted on my new YouTube channel. The link for that is in the bio of my Facebook page or the bio of my Instagram page. So you can check them all out on YouTube. Hey Em, good morning. Hi Anne, welcome. Welcome. The short versions are going to be posted on TikTok. So if you guys are TikTokers and you like that vibe, then you can follow me on TikTok. It's official Madison Rose. And I post a TikTok every day there as well. Just a short version of this long version. On Facebook, we do the live streams. This is where we do live. You can ask me questions. You can engage with me here on Facebook. We're going to be here every day until September 16th, 2023. Aloha, Sarah. Sarah, I love that you come on and say aloha, because Hawaii has been actually a topic in our lives as of recently. And I love that you're saying aloha. Hi Amanda, hey, welcome. So yesterday we talked about getting out of your comfort zone and doing something that you've never done before but you've always wanted to do. And I gave you guys a story about when I tried acting classes for the first time. If you want to go and watch that replay, we talked about it yesterday. It was a funny one. I told you a story, and it's also really encouraging for anyone who's watching who wants to get outside of their comfort zone and do something that they've always just really wanted to do. Good morning, Dawn. Hello. So today I want to talk about joy and fear, because oftentimes people get into the entrepreneurial world, or they start pursuing their dreams in a side gig, or they start a side hustle of some sort, and they do it because they want financial freedom and time freedom. But a subconscious desire is also joy, right? People also want to feel like they're in joy, like they have joy. Balancing joy and fear is something that I see a lot of people struggle with. So we're going to talk about that today in 1 second while I adjust this. Don't fall. Whoa. You guys are going to get a little shaky for a second. Okay, there we go. We're adjusted. Okay, that's better, I think I like. Okay, so joy and fear. Hi, Darla, good morning. Joy and fear, and how do you navigate them? How do you navigate when you're in joy, when you're in fear? How do you learn how to overcome fear to enter into the world and the realm of joy? Oftentimes, joy is on the opposite side of fear. Joy is on the opposite side of doing something uncomfortable, right? We talk about feminine and masculine energetics. Hi, Kai, welcome. We talk about feminine and masculine energetics a lot on in this series. And what's not talked about a lot is having a joyful life oftentimes requires a lot of masculine restructuring, fear, decision-making on the front end. For example, in order to live the life that I am living now, that I'm so grateful for and that I am obsessed with, right, that brings me a lot of joy, I had to make really uncomfortable decisions at one point in my life. So at one point, I had to move to a brand new state to be with, Eric full time. That was uncomfortable. That was scary. That was not something that I necessarily could have predicted. It definitely wasn't on my vision board, but living in a warm, sunny state was. So it came to me in a way that I didn't expect, but was actually better than I could have imagined, because I got the boyfriend and the state in one thing, which is really fun. But that move was really hard on me, right? It caused me anxiety and a little bit of depression for a little while, because acclimating to a new state, I really underestimated how much that affects you when you move to a new state, a new environment. So that, right? But now it brings me so much joy. Now I love it. Now it's like I can't imagine my life anywhere else. I love living in Georgia, right? With the Madison Rose brand now, I'm so proud of the company. It's hit multiple six figures. We're doing so well, right? Things are going great. We have so much fun. We have so many programs. I love the structure. But before this, right, before it was good, I had to make the really hard decision of leaving another company that I loved a lot. That was really fun for me. That was going really well. But to have an even better fit for myself, I had to make a really hard decision. And there was a lot of fear in that. There was a lot of fear in moving to Georgia. There was a lot of fear in making that business decision to leave a company that I had helped build and loved so much. There was a lot of fear in that. But at some point, the desire to find out what you're made of, the desire to find out how good life can get, overtakes fear. I'll give you another example. When I was 18 and 19 years old, I knew in my heart that I was going to be a public speaker. I knew that speaking was going to always be a part of my life. I just knew it. And I was also terrified of speaking. Like, I never wanted to speak in front of people. I remember, my dad thankfully introduced me to network marketing at the age of 18 years old. Like, as soon as I turned 18, he was like, here's the papers, here's your first company, like, sign it, you're legal, let's do this. And I'm like, okay. So at 18, as soon as I was legal to do network marketing, I was in it. And in network marketing, if you're in the industry, and you become a leader in the industry, public speaking is a part of that. And so my dad helped me do really well. Pretty well, not crazy well, but I was doing really well, pretty well, I don't know, for being 18 years old and new in the industry. And so I started speaking at small meetings in front of like 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. And my dad built this like community in Leominster, where we're from, and it was really cool, and I got a lot of speaking opportunities because of that. I was terrified of public speaking, though. I would go up there and turn tomato-faced red. Like, it wasn't an easy process. It wasn't a, fear-free process. I was terrified of it. And now I speak in front of people every single day of my life. I've spoken on stages with zero fear in my body. I've spoken on live streams with zero fear in my body, right? Like, speaking has become a second language to me. It's no big deal. It's like writing my name on a piece of paper. But at one point in time, it was absolutely crippling for me. It was terrifying for me. I couldn't imagine getting up on stage and having no fear. In fact, at one event, like probably 5 years or so ago, my dad and I held our first in-person event for the company that we had together. And I was about to go up on stage, and I'm like, Dad, I think you should just go and do it. Like, you know all the things. Like, you're so good. Like, I think you should go do it. And he's like, get the hell out of here and get your butt up on that stage. And I was like, fair enough. Okay. And I did, and I was fine, and I did well, and it was great. My point of telling you these stories is sometimes the joy that we know is waiting for us asks us to make a really uncomfortable decision before we experience the joy. Sometimes we have to make, we have to move. Sometimes we have to make a business decision. Sometimes we may have to leave a job. Whatever you're feeling called to do, oftentimes joy is on the other side of that. More joy than you could have ever imagined for yourself. But oftentimes a lot of people allow the illusion of fear and things going backwards to stop them from making the decision to go forwards and experience more joy in their life. And I don't want to say like nothing comes without a sacrifice, because that sounds very like blah. And when I make these decisions now in my life, I don't look at them as a sacrifice, but I could understand how some people would look at it as a sacrifice. I personally don't, because I look at it as an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to experience more out of life. I look at it as an opportunity to give up something really good to experience something even better. So to me, that's not a sacrifice. And actually, I read in a book one time that sacrifice is actually that. Sacrifice is not, abandoning yourself. Sacrifice is giving up something good to get something great. That's what it is. And so as you start to familiarize yourself with the process of letting go of things to experience greater things, letting go of things to experience greater things in your life, when you feel called to, when you feel like that's your next step internally, I'm not talking about like, oh, I've got a good girlfriend, but I know there's better, so I'm going to ditch her and find a better one. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. Or, oh, I've got a good job, but I can have anything that I want, so I'm going to leave it and find a better one. I'm not talking about arrogance here. I'm not talking about delusional people here. I'm talking about when you feel in your spirit that you're being called to more, or you're being called to make a new decision or a different decision, a decision that you've never made before, that's a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit scary and a little bit uncharted, that if you feel called to it, hi lady bears, come here, hi monkey, if you feel called to it, having the courage, thank you for kisses, thank you so much, if you feel called to it and then you have the courage to make the decision and move, right, then joy is on the other side of that. More joy than you could have ever imagined. Like this smush face. Oh, thank you so much. This is Luna Bear, for those of you who don't know her. This is my little baby. This is my little baby. She says hi, Anne. This is her favorite right here. Wow, you look beautiful. Yeah, you do. Okay, can I get back to my live now? Can I get back to my live now? Thank you. Okay. Amanda, how would you differentiate between the illusion of fear and intuitive no feeling regarding something? Thank you. How would you differentiate between the illusion of fear and intuitive feeling? Okay. Normally it happens in a sequence. Normally it happens where you feel a pull to do something and you want to do it, but then the next thing that comes up is all the reasons to do it, right? So, example, I felt pulled to create my own company. Like, I felt like, okay, it's time to fly. Dad helped you get to a certain point. Dad showed you the industry. Dad introduced you to the industry. And, like, you guys have had something really magical here for a long time, but it's time to go. And this was a message that I didn't come across logically. Like, logically, it actually made no sense. Everything was going well on paper. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. So logically, everything was going really well in the company. It made no sense, really, to make this decision on paper. But I got the feeling and the intuition to jump, to make the decision. And I got really excited about it, right? Like the Madison Rose company, the Madison Rose brand. Like, I immediately got excited about it because, honestly, it was hard fitting my dad and myself into one brand. Like, it always was, like, there was always resistance there. Like, we had hired people before to, like, help us build a brand together. And, like, we're just so different. Like, we're very similar in a lot of ways, but we're also very different with our vibe and, like, the people we attract and stuff. And even, like, how we talk. So, it was really hard to make a brand together. So it was always, like, frustrating. And we kind of just ended up, like, picking blue and purple because, like, blue is masculine and purple is feminine. And, like, it's fine. But I was really excited to create my own brand and my own look and my own feel and, like, all that stuff, right? So I was excited on the one hand, but on the other hand, then came, well, does this make sense? Is this logical? What if it doesn't work out? What if it fails? What if no one hires you? What if no one wants to work with just you? What if you're gonna mess up something really good? What if this is how it's supposed to be and you're making a selfish decision by leaving, right? There was all this fear that came up second. So that's the sequence normally. The sequence is normally you have an inspired idea that's calling you to more. And then secondly, logic kicks in and says, what if this? What about this? What if this? What if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? Blah, 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 all that stuff. So I always say when you have the idea that comes into your consciousness, that is your green light, that is something you are capable of. For example, I don't get the idea to become a professional boxer. It's just not, just like doesn't enter my mind. But I do get the idea to take acting classes or to take speaking classes or singing classes or fashion. Like I do get those ideas, but I don't get boxing ideas. So because I get these other ideas, I look at that as my green light that it's possible for me. And if I want it, I can have it. If I want it, it's in my wheelhouse. If I want it, it's kind of like, it's possible for me. So the difficult part where most people get stuck is where they have the inspired action, they have the intuition to go and do. But then the subconscious human side of ourselves says, what if this, what if that, what if it doesn't work out, what if you're not meant for this, what if you're messing up a good thing, what if it backfires and you're an embarrassment, what if you're not successful, what if you can't do it on your own? And that's the fear kicking in, right? That's the subconscious kicking in and saying, hey, we've never done this before. How do you know it's going to work out? How do you know it's going to work out well? What if it doesn't? And that's the subconscious paradigm kicking in saying, this is uncharted territory. Warning, 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 right? Our subconscious minds love patterns. Our subconscious mind is a big city of patterns that cars drive on, right? The cars are our thoughts. The cars are our beliefs driving on these patterns that we've created over time through repetition. And so when we challenge that pattern, when we challenge that road, it's like telling the car that's programmed to go on this road to go on this road, and it just doesn't compute. It's like, warning, 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 warning. It's uncharted territory. And that is the part that, you know, I don't want to say makes or breaks people, but that's the part where a lot of people back up into comfort and they say, yeah, mind, you're right. I'm just going to stay here because it's safe and it's easy and I know what I'm doing and it's working and everything's good. But then there's always that little voice in the back of their minds that says, create your own brand. What are you doing? Go and create your own company. Go and do your own thing. And they keep shutting it down, shutting it down, shutting it down. And this is where people get depressed and experience anxiety and things of that nature because they're not expressing what they're meant to be expressing. So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that explained that it's a sequence. It's inspired action, it's intuition, and then fear kicks in, logic kicks in. Logic is a weird word, right? Logic is always changing. If you think about what was logical when the Wright brothers were creating flight, right? They were inventing the airplane. It wasn't logical at that point in time to fly an airplane across the world. It was illogical, crazy, right? Until they did it. Then it became logic. So what is the thing that's illogical for you to do right now that you keep feeling pushed to do, you keep feeling called to do, that you haven't been doing? It's maybe illogical now, but it will become logical once you make the decision. Once you make the decision to go and do, everything lines up. I remember, specifically with the business one, I remember being in and out of the decision in my mind. Like, I'm going to, I'm not going to, I'm going to, I'm not going to. And the thing that was holding me back was fear. Fear of all the things that I've, ranted off a few times. I was terrified. Is this going to work? Can I do it? Can I, are people going to be mad at me? Are people going to be sad? Am I going to be able to handle a business on my own? I've never done this before. All those things. That's the illusion. Once you push through that, now you're free. Now everything lines up for you. But until you make that decision to really go and do, and you make that committed decision, meaning like you've told the people, you haven't like burned the bridges, but like you've burned the bridges, like the ship sailed. You can't turn back now. It's time to make things happen. That's where the universe will start to line up the steps for you. And if you're in a point where you're in a transition in your life, what I used to say to myself all the time during this period was, it's working out better than I could ever imagine. Because I had constant anxiety and fear come into my mind about, oh no, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right decision? Did I make the right decision? And so coming up with an affirmational loop for yourself to keep yourself on track and in the right mental space is really important. So I kept saying, it's working out better than I could ever imagine. It's working out better than I could ever imagine. This is being taken care of. This is being taken care of. This is being taken care of. I don't know how this is going to happen, but it's going to work out better than I could ever imagine, right? There was a lot of moving pieces and puzzle things with this situation. So whatever it is that you're feeling called to, if you're not making that decision to go and do it because of fear, it's your tall tale sign to go and do it. It may not be today, it may not be this week, it may not be this month, but you know that eventually, inevitably, that will be a reality. Eventually, for me, I knew that it was inevitable that I'd eventually have my own brand. When, I don't know. I didn't know, but I knew that it was inevitable, that I would open my own company. Because it kept coming back. It kept resurfacing in my mind. It wouldn't go away. It wasn't just a fleeting thought. It was one that kept knocking on my door. And to me, that's how you know, okay, this is part of my plan. This is part of what I'm feeling called to. This is part of what I've created over time that is now presenting itself to me and calling me towards it. All the things that I've said yes and no to over my lifetime have now all come together in this next thing. And this next thing is going to bring me all the things that I've been asking for over my lifetime in that experience. I've just got to make the decision to go and to do it. And if you can move past that fear, and if you can move through that, so much joy is on the other side. I was happy before, but I couldn't say I had inner joy about and inner joy and peace and I don't want to say pride, but yeah, I wasn't nearly as proud as I am about what I'm doing now on my own when I was in a partnership. And that was, for me, it was a soul thing that I needed to go and do for myself to find out if I could do it. And once I found out that I could, I was like, wow, okay, I got me. I'm really proud of myself. Not in an arrogant way, but in a deep, soul-filled way. I'm proud that I stepped out and did this. And because of that decision, I have more joy that I can tap into now than ever before. Because I've created that, right? The deeper you go, the deeper you can go. It's it happens on both sides. The more fear you feel, the more joy you can experience. Right? So I hope today was helpful for you guys. If you have that one thing that's been knocking on your door for a while, maybe it's time to start thinking about how it could all work out for the better. Don't worry about how it's going to work out. What if this? What if that? What if this? That's all an illusion, and it's an illusion to keep you stuck in the same patterns over and over and over and over again. The only thing that's holding you back is your logical mind stepping in and saying, doubt, fear, worry, doubt, fear, worry, doubt, fear, worry. But as soon as you step out and you claim it and you say, I'm doing this, I'm moving forward, the bridges are burned, the tie is cut, then the universe has to align for you. Most people want to see the universe align before they make the decision, and that's not how God works. That's not how the universal laws work. You've got to, man must take the first step, and then God responds. We go first, and the universe aligns. Until you make the decision, it's going to seem very chaotic. Once you make that decision, everything's going to line up for you and work out better than you could have ever imagined. And it may be a bumpy ride, but you're going to be able to tap into more joy and more of a sense of living than you ever have before in your lifetime. So, I'll see you tomorrow at 11:11 a.m. Eastern. Until then, be well, God bless. If this video was helpful for you, please go ahead and share it. We're going to put all your names in a bucket at the end of the month, which is coming up soon. We're going to pick out some winners for a special prize from the Madison Rose team. So, please share if this was helpful for you, or tag people who you think would resonate with this video below. We don't do ads or anything like that, so it's just word of mouth. So I would so appreciate you guys if you could do that. Okay? We'll see you tomorrow, 11:11 a.m. Eastern. Bye.